My golly, there is something important we need to discuss today. Let me ask you something. Question of the day. When was the last time you told yourself no to something that you actually wanted and then just called it being responsible? It might have been a vacation, some new underwear, whatever the situation is, right? You didn't take the hour break that you needed to, perhaps, and you just told yourself, not yet. I haven't earned it yet. Once I do this, I will. And, there's this part of you that you've never stopped to notice. It is the quiet math you do every single day around what you're allowed to have. Every single day, this math is running in the background, even right now. Should I continue to watch this video? Should I switch it? Right? And these patterns, these things, is not all yours. So, y'all know I'm not a motivation. Let's talk about motivation. So, that's not what this is. I need you to understand something. Okay? This is not a discipline problem that you're having, because you have plenty of discipline, don't you? And that's the joke, but it's not funny, because you have the discipline. You are the person who continues to show up. You are the one who follows through all the time. Discipline has never been your issue, my love. So, here's where most advice gets things wrong for you, right? It tells you that you need to push harder, work more, fix your mindset. But isn't it true that you can't think your way out of a decision that's being made before you even think it, right? Can't do that. That's the part that no one has been talking about. So that's why we're here today, showing up, showing you the real deal, keeping it a buck, right? What's actually running the show here is a bias, not necessarily a preference or a personality trait. Truly a bias. What does that mean, Destiny? Break it down for me. Okay. A bias is something that decides for you quietly and so fast it feels like instinct. So fast it feels like it was you that made the choice all along. And again, am I keeping it real fashion? This bias is not random. It has a job, and it's been hired to keep you safe. Think of that. Whew. So that means, all right, just because it could be hired, you can unhire it. Fire, talking about fire that hoe, okay? So I want you to really come to terms with and recognize, as we showcase here, the person who hired it, because that person is you. So, talk with me here. Think about it here. Because we see this bias, right? We're going to have to go back a little bit. Back to the version of you that learned a very specific lesson. Maybe that lesson was taught to you by a parent or a teacher or the church you were going to or a job or just the air you were breathing as you were growing up. At some point in time, somewhere early in your life, you learned the line, the limit of what you're allowed to want, when you're allowed to rest, if you're allowed to rest, and if you're allowed to have what you're allowed to have. And that line was the thing that's been keeping you safe. Here's where it got interesting for me when I started learning about all this, right? It's not that you just believe these things. When they came up, your body actually logged it. Your nervous system, I got some other videos on that if you need to understand more about that. Your nervous system took that moment, that line, and filed it away deeply, as this is how we have to survive, to stick below this line. And it's been running that very program ever since. So when you skip that vacation, or you cut out the rest that you know you need, or you tell yourself, nah, not yet, I got a little bit more, I got a little bit more to do first, right? You're again telling your nervous system that we're good here, you know, as long as we stay below this line, we're good, we safe. Most people are calling these limiting beliefs. And there's a difference here that I need you to hear, all right? A belief you can kind of argue with, right? A belief you can journal about, and you can reframe on a Tuesday afternoon. But this isn't a thought. This is regulation. This is your body choosing what is familiar over what is freeing and expansive for you. Because it knows that so far, this is what kept you alive. And so, in coming into this recognition, as always, I'm not here to tell you that, oh, you're a weakling, oh, you're undisciplined, right? No. And that's not what you need to gain from this video. You need to understand that you are not undisciplined. You are loyal. You've been A1 for yourself for a long time, and loyal to a rule that perhaps you didn't even write. You just thought it was the thing that you needed to do. And this loyalty is costing you everything. So, keeping it a buck, right? That's what we do. I watched myself do this for years. And I don't mean like, I read about it, right? I mean, I built a whole life on this bias and called it success. Because that's what they be saying. That's what they say it is, right? But you know internally something different. When you do everything right, because I did everything right. I worked hard. I hit all the goals. I had the big corner lot house, brand new development, brand new neighborhood, cars, everything. Insurance, everything. Everything was supposedly right. But still, there was something off. I knew it. And I remember exactly the feeling of just like sitting around, you know, looking at all of my beautiful artifacts, all the things that I've built, and still having this true feeling of just like nothing, bruh. It wasn't a means for celebration for me. Sure, at some point, maybe it was a quick celebration. Yeah, I did it. Woohoo. Right? But there was no true point where I was like, this is it, you know? This is what I wanted. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling at peace, right? So finally, I just had to come into this admittance, awareness, taking a look at it and saying, all right, admit to the point, right? What took me a long time to admit to myself, but we here, we're keeping the A1 together. You know, I didn't actually believe what I was allowed to feel good in. Somewhere along the way, I'd written this quiet rule that the work was never done. The rest is never earned. That sound familiar? I know. Trust me, I know, friend. Because it ain't just my story. It is the story that the bias tells all of us, again, from all these little things that we picked up along the way. And I want you to notice, if you are feeling it right now, that little flutter in your chest, maybe a tear built up in your eye. It's not by accident. That's your body, your energy, your soul truly recognizing this truth. And your mind can't argue with that. So, here's the question of the day I want you to sit with, okay? And you can comment below. Again, community space here. Community space. Everybody ain't watching it, just you and some others. But anyway, really sit with this question here, right? Don't just, yeah, I'll think about it, I'm gonna answer it later, because you're not. Just do it now. Okay? If this bias has been quietly deciding what you're allowed to want, when you're allowed to rest, how rest is allowed to feel to you, then whose life have you actually been living? What? I said it. Whose life have you actually been living? Because it can't be fully yours if the rules were written before you ever got a say. You've been following a script that's been handed to you by people who are also following scripts right now, right? Scripts that were also handed down to them. In that space between what you produce, the artifacts, and what you actually feel, that gap is getting wider and wider, not narrower. How old are you today? It was today, years old. How old are you today? All right. So if you wanted to, for real, stop quietly draining you, because again, it don't take breaks here. It's just going to keep draining you. You got to do something different. Another real question for you. All right. Question that you ask yourself is not how do I fix my schedule to suit me? How do I finally get more disciplined? The real question is, who gets to set up the new terms? Because until you are ready to answer that question and truly answer it for yourself, you're not living your own life. You're managing someone else's. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about then, how to get out of this thing that's been happening. Because I'm not going to just leave you out here with a problem and no real door to walk through, right? We gotta figure out, okay, so what's the next step for me? 3 moves for you, fam. Step 1, regulate. Before you can touch even a single belief that you have, your body, which is your body's language, right? You need to speak in a way that your body understands. Because again, this bias lives in your nervous system, not in a notebook. That's why you can think about it all day and nothing happens. So right now, I want you to do something. Notice where in your body did that show up. Was it in your chest? Was it your throat? God dang, you got caught up a little bit. Did your eyes start to twitch? Was it your jaw? What was it? Did you realize you were holding your breath this whole time? because that right there is the bias, okay? Being physically present. And you hadn't noticed it before, but today you did. So that's the first move, right? It's not to fight. It's to feel. It's to know, listening to your body and letting it know that also that line is not required anymore. I'm moving on to new and better things, baby. Okay? So go ahead, breathe to that. Slow breath in. Slow breath out. Bruh, it's not woo-woo, right? This is science. It's the thing that your nervous system is getting to. It's getting to the money here. It's getting the message that it's safe, all right? And there is safety on the other side of that burnout. You don't have to be stuck there no more, all right? So always, if you need it, take that breath. One breath at a time. Okay, step two. Reclaim, okay? Name the rule out loud. Name what's going on. Not, bruh, I just need to, I should relax more, okay? That's still the rule talking. I mean the actual sentence that you've been running from, the thing that's been running you. And write it down. In fact, this is a great place to put it. There's an entire comment section. Write it down. It might sound like I'm only allowed to rest when I've earned it. Or if I want too much, I'll lose what I have, right? You got those words, you've seen it before, you've said it before. The comment section, you can release it. Remember that you can't evict a tenant you've never named. If you don't know who it is, you can't kick that hoe out. Okay, step 3. Rise, baby, rise. Because here's what changes when that rule drops. The vacation, the thing that you've wanted, it stops being something you need to earn. You've already earned it. All the stuff you've been doing, you already earned it. You already earned it. It's not something you need to earn right now, okay? You are allowed. I'm giving you permission right now, okay? So the practice here, it stops getting cut when the week gets hard, when you start, again, replaying these patterns. No, we got to breathe, work our way through it, name it, and then we rise out of that, right? So that not yet starts to become a yeah, baby, right now, okay? Right now, this is for me right now. I'm doing this thing because I deserve it. I deserve it. Say it out loud with me. I deserve it. All right? And another thing I need you to understand here. This is not about doing more, right? Because you've been doing more for too long. That's why I said you done earned it already. Ain't nothing new that you need to do to earn it. Okay? You've done more before. This is about belonging to the life you're already living, as in you belonging in your shoes, right? So the spark doesn't just fizzle out because you stopped forcing your way or white knuckling your way through it. Okay? Now, before this energy dissipates, friend, I want you to, again, grab that rule, whatever the thing is that you learned. If you haven't written it down yet, go ahead in the comments below and write it down. Because this is your homework for today. Your home play. We got to say it to release it. Don't skip it. Okay? Let me close with this, my friend. You're not behind, you're not ungrateful, and you are certainly not broken. You've just been running on a program for years that was never yours, and it's been running you into the ground. Again, I only know it for you because I knew it for myself. So, no matter how old you are, no matter what's going on with you right now, no matter how many things you've been through, you still got the shot. You got the chance. You living and breathing here today, that means you got another shot, baby, to set this thing up on your own terms. And if this is resonating with you, if you feel the tightness, the flicker, the tear, whatever the situation is that came up when you recognize that quiet math that you've been paying, calculating. Again, another chance to comment below. Let me know what's up. What is the rule that you caught yourself running in? All right? Because I really want to help y'all. I'll be reading all the comments. And I'll be replying. So, another thing, if you're ready to go deeper, because we can only do but so much here on this platform. If you're ready to go deeper and actually build or rebuild your relationship with rest, your own personal desire, and your own nervous system, this is exactly why we created our 7-day reset. I did it. Woo! Victoria and I filmed it in Bali a couple of months ago. It's beautiful scenery. You will see great things. You will understand and learn great things about yourself, as well as experience that true breath, that true reset that you need. So the link is below to get started on that. You ain't got to wait for nobody. You can get started right this very second. My name is Destiny. Thank you so very much for showing up today. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for liking, subscribing, dinging bells, all those good things. I will see you in the next one. Peace.